Buongiorno, buonasera, benvenuti amici. Welcome, my friends, and welcome to my channel, Fountain Pen Therapy. Again, today I think, I have all these pens, and I say to myself, how can I share them with my viewers and not do it one at a time? Because one at a time, it's hundreds and hundreds, and sometimes, the viewers will lose interest. So what I like to do is these compilations of where I look at my collection. I say, okay, can I find anything unique in this collection to be able to express my passion for fountain pens, and at the same time show my viewers a little bit of the variety of pens that I have. And I thought of this compilation of, look at my collection and take out all my Torpedo shaped pens. Now we got to be careful. I think I cheated in a couple instances, and you'll see what I mean in just a few seconds. But I tried my best to remove everything that's not really a torpedo shaped in its classic form, and that will be explained in a few seconds as well. And I said to myself, okay, now that I've compiled all of them, and I believe I have 19 of them. There's 19 pens that I consider. Let me just count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, there's 20 of them, in fact. So I have 20 torpedo-shaped pens. And from those 20, we're going to do a challenge, and we'll take a look at all of them. And then I will let you know what my favorite three are, and maybe go in a little more in depth with the three and explain to you why I think they're my favorite. So without further ado, we'll go to my overhead camera and let's take a look at what we've got. So here are the 20 compiled pens, and we'll start from my left, and we'll take it right down, right to the end. Okay? So let's take a look at the first one. Now, what is this first one? Well, folks, this is a vintage torpedo-shaped Schaefer that I purchased, and between you and I was very disappointed. But I guess it's just because I may not be appreciating the vintage nature of this pen. I believe it's a 1940 edition, and I've looked at it, and some people call it the Balance, some people call it the Horizon. I'm not sure which one I've got. It's got this this nice nib as well. So all of that to say that that's my vintage. And from what I understand, this is the original patent of a torpedo-shaped fountain pen. It's white dot, by the way, and people have been copying this style or this shape ever since. So I figured my number one on my list should be this Schaefer that I have. And there you go. That's the Schaefer. Okay. So, and you can tell it's a different clip. It's not the original clip, so it's a later edition. And maybe even later than 1940, but I did some research, and the best that I could surmise is that this is in its 1940s. That's number one. My number two on my list is this Diplomat Aero. As you can see, and I've got two colors to share with you. I've got the orange and the blue. Beautiful, just beautiful colors. Look at this clip. Isn't that beautiful? Let me take this one where you can see the clip a little more. The contrast is a little bit heavier. It just takes up the whole nib, the whole cap. Torpedo shaped. It's got a nice finial with a little bit of a design. There you go. And it's a snap-on. It's got a very nice nib, by the way. No stubs are available from Diplomat. Believe this is a medium or a broad. Yeah, it's a medium. Very nice, very nice. It's not that slippery. It's kind of a mattish color here, so it does give me less slip, if you will. It does post. Not the greatest posting in the world, but it does post if you want it to post. So that's the Diplomat Aero in the two colors. After that, I have the Ranga Ebonite Model 8. And Ranga, you will quickly see, are one of my favorite pen makers. They're not expensive, nothing extravagant, but very nicely made, all handmade. And I don't think I've ever bought one Ranga pen that I haven't enjoyed, and that is not on my almost weekly list of pens. So there you go. Nice cut, nice size, nice nib. They usually come with a variety of German nibs, either Schmidt, Bock, or Jowo and Jowo nibs, or Yowo, as one viewer told me to pronounce. The Yowo nibs are my favorite. So that's the Ranga Model 8. After that, I have my Laban Tarocco. Now, here's where perhaps I may have cheated a little bit. And let me explain. The Torpedo is really pointed at both ends. It's got somewhat of a point here, although it is rounded. But the bottom here is a little too round. Some people may argue that that's not legitimate torpedo shaped. But I figured, because of the top, it's torpedoed enough. So my Laban Tarocco made the list. Very nice nibs. Mind you, I've changed this one. This one has a Goulet broad nib, but very comfortable. I believe it also posts securely. Good shape, nice girth, medium-sized. Nothing huge. I think the resin on this is also very nice. So this Tarocco is one of my favorite Laban pens. And there you go, and it made my list. After that, of course, my Sailor Classic, my 1911, the smaller version, had to make the list. Is it Torpedo? I think so. I think it's the classic Torpedo. Is it a little bit rounded and not pointy, perhaps? But to me, that's pointed enough. And, what can I say? The Sailor has got to form part of anybody's collection. It is a little small for my taste. But you know what? It posts so securely that I use this pen exclusively posted. It's got that 22 karat soft nib, soft like rubber, like butter. I mean, it's hard not to put this thing on any list. It made several of my lists, and it's quite an enjoyable pen. So there you go. After that, here again, I think I cheated a little bit. This is a Delta Virtuosa. It's pretty rounded, and, the reason why it's torpedoed is because it goes really slims out, although it's a rounded nib. But I figured my Virtuosa should make the list. So there you go. It's got one of those fusion nibs, a stub that I put in. I replaced the original nib that was there, and there's my Virtuosa. This is probably the least expensive Delta pen that I own. Nothing to write home about, but still part of my collection. Okay, so that's the Delta Virtuosa. The next on my list is this Easterbrook oversized SD. I think it's Torpedo. Is it rounded? Perhaps, but I think it makes the list. And they make just great nibs, especially the oversized. I love this huge, nice size pen. The resin is just top notch. The quality of this pen is top notch. All of the build quality. It's the resin is on the thickish side. Take a look how thick that resin is. Isn't that nice? So, you're not getting a flimsy resin pen. This is, when they mean resin, there's lots of it there. And, I've got a nice Easterbrook 1.1 stub there, Yowo probably, and writes very, very well. Does it post? Not so. I don't think it posts. And it's not meant to, because with this size, you don't need to post it, frankly. So I love my Easterbrook. Love this Easterbrook pen. The next, again, some people may say that I cheated. This is my Montblanc Solitaire Vermeil Pinstripe 146. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous pen. It's a little bit different from the classic black, piano black. But it's the Mont Blanc, pretty classic, and very nice. It's got a double broad, gold obviously, but it's got a double broad nib, so nice and thick. It's the best I can do to make it look like, or at least write like a stub. So it's got a double BB broad nib on it. Very, very nice. Part of my collection, Mont Blancs, and I cherish this pen. Very nice. The next one is a pen that I'm going to be reviewing shortly and that I just received just a couple of days ago. It's the Click. I believe they Turkish manufacturer with a nice band. Take a look at that band. Very nice vintage look, And yes, it is rounded, but it's a torpedo shaped. It's almost like a cigar. Eh? So very nice nib, soft. Writes just smooth as butter as well. Very nice. Not stub. I believe this is a broad, but nonetheless, very nice resin. It's got some of that translucent quality to it. Nice swirl. So we'll be reviewing this in detail in one of my next reviews. So that does this first tray. Let's take a look at this second tray. Well, the first one in the tray is, again, a pen I just recently purchased. It's the Leonardo Officina Italiana Furore Aqua Petra. Take a look at that resin. Isn't that gorgeous? A mixture of blue, purple, pink, a little bit of green in there with the rose gold trimmings. The rose gold may not show up that well on the camera, but I can assure you it's rose gold with that nice rose gold Yowo, a brand new Yowo, Leonardo Officina Italiana nib. Again, this pen writes so smoothly, and it's got a proud owner, put it this way, and I too will be reviewing this very shortly, so you should see a review, an individual review on that pen very, very, very soon. Next on my list is that pen BBS 308 or 266. I think they're very similar, I think, at one point, but I think this is the 308. Again, a little bit rounded, but I think it makes the list for Torpedo. Look at that nice pen, and I think I got this for like $30, $40. Can't argue at that price. Pen BBS does make some very nice, or has made. They've stopped all of a sudden. I don't know what's going on, but, for a while we had hundreds in just a short span. And then all of a sudden, they're disappeared from the face of this earth. Yeah, they got some fancy nibs coming out and maybe variations once in a while, but nothing like a few years ago where they were just spinning out pens almost on a monthly basis. So nice shaped. As you can see, the torpedo shape is there. It's one of the original Pen BBS medium-sized nibs. Very nice nibs. Too thin for my liking, but nonetheless, for those who like medium, very nice nib. Very nice nib. So that's the Pen BBS 308. Next on my list is the Live in You Galaxy. Again, thin, but this is as torpedo as it gets. Very nice pens, LYU. So, oh, my phone's ringing. I apologize. Okay, next on my list is the Fanmu Green Smog. I love this little pen. Again, not very expensive. The Schaefer influence is there, maybe for different reasons, but this is there to replace the white dot of the, the original. But it serves another purpose. It's not decorative, and it's a roll stopper. It prevents it from rolling. So there you go. It serves a different purpose, but yet has that very similar look, if you will. And the green smog, that resin swirl, 3D, very, very nice, I've got to tell you. And this little pen just writes. It's got a Schmidt nib, And you know what? I'm starting to like these small Schmidt nibs. Very nice. People, I think, underestimate. They're probably number 3, eh? Yowo, maybe followed by Bach, and then Schmidt in terms of the German nibs. Or I may just have a bias for Yowo, but this little Schmidt nib, it's got a look at the end. I don't know if you see it, but it's got a nice chunk there right at the tip. Making it such that it's not too thin, even though it may be a fine or a medium. That big tip just makes it right so smooth. So I really enjoy this pen. I like this little pen. I think I may have paid it $20, $25, if that much. And it's nice. I like it. It really, really is nice. The same goes for this next pen, which is the Moonman C1, and there's the C2 and C3, C4, I believe, that I also like. But this C1, and this is as torpedo as it gets. It's a demonstrator. I can see there's a little bit of my ink there, remnants. That means I didn't wash out the nib properly. But again, this is a type of pen that once you lock it in, you see this mechanism right here? It basically, once you screw it in, there's a tight fit there. So it prevents it from drying. So this little pen, once you fill it, and it's a eyedroppers, you can put plenty of ink in there, it'll last you for months. Months. You can leave it, not use it, pick it up again, and it'll write just as if you just finished inking it. So nice little Moonman, or Mahjong as they call themselves these days. But when I purchased it, it was a Moonman, and that's what I have, inscribed on the ring here, on the center ring. So it's the C1. Next on my list are 2 pens, this ivory and this galaxy blue. They are the Pen BBS 480. Isn't that nice? Look at the chatoyancy on that blue resin. Pen BBS, Galaxy Blue, with a beautiful, beautiful clip, sword-shaped clip, nice band, very nice pen, with that chunky medium nib that they are now famous for, in-house, manufactured by them. I think this is a nice little pen. Is it too small for my liking? Perhaps. I like huge pens, you know that, but having said that, it does not take away. It posts, fairly well. It gives it a nice weight, I would say. But I think this pen is very, very nice, especially for the price. There again, I think the Galaxy Blue may have gone for a little more, but not more than $30, $40 at the time that I purchased this. Same thing goes for this ivory. I think this ivory is just so nice. Very nice. It's got that grain, that wooden grain. You could see the nice clip. You can see it much better on this ivory. And again, the resin is right down to the portion where the fingertips touch. This is just a standard fine nib, Pen BBS fine nib. But there you go. Very nice. Talk about torpedo. Yeah. Next on my list is the Live in You, I think they call it Future Purple. Very nice resin. Look at this. This is, I would say, a mini pen, if you will. It's not any bigger than it's even smaller than my Schaefer, which is really, really small. So, but again, the torpedo shape makes it to my list. And again, it's got that Schmidt nib. Those little Schmidt nibs are this is a size 5, I believe. And very, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah. It's got a little roll stopper there. And the resin, I think, is nice. $15, $20, perhaps. So, worth every penny. Next on my list is a pen that I really liked until I started writing with it. And talk about Schaefer. Well, it's Schaefer all the way. The clip is a Schaefer. The rings are earlier versions of Schaefer, and it's got the white dot. It's got the torpedo shaped. But that's about it. Because once, first of all, turning it is, you can tell it's not the greatest. And this is what they refer to as the Wingsun 626. It's got this very bad nib. I think the manufacturing quality of this pen has very little to be desired. The ring here, the screwing mechanism is faulty. It doesn't screw in properly. You have to almost struggle. Is it nice from the outside? You get this nice red vintage look. But I'm telling you, I played around with this nib, tried to do everything to get it to work. It's just, I have to replace it. But it's just, again, it's in my collection, but it's not a go-to pen. But just the moment I have to turn this thing and open it, I say to myself, oh, awful, just awful. So it made my list because it's a torpedo shaped, and maybe somebody may have a Wingsun 626 that works for them, but this one doesn't work for me. Next on my list is a pen that I just recently reviewed, and I invite you to take a look at that episode. And this is the Ranga Splendor Torpedo. Now, talk about a torpedo. This is a war torpedo. Huge, just a beautiful, beautiful pen. Among my favorite. I've got to tell you, it's got a number 8 titanium Bach nib. Oh, talk about being lucky. This pen is lucky to have that nib. That nib is as soft and as smooth as butter. Just beautiful nib. If only they made a size 8 titanium stub. I have to get one of these things and send it to a nibmeister and have them turn it into a stub. I'm weary because it goes for maybe $200 this nib, and it's not meant to be. It's meant to be that way. So nibmeisters can do some miracles. Maybe I will. And I've never used the services of a nibmeister. Maybe I will take the leap and see what they can do. But look at that pen. Does it post? I think it even posts. They're like skis. I mean, it's very nice resin, by the way. The resin, very nice. And it's Ranga, handmade, but, made so nicely. I also like the nib, the clip, I'm sorry. The clip is nice. It's got this eye drop to it. Good size. One of my favorite. So there you have the 20, I should say. The 20 torpedo-shaped pens, and now we'll go for the challenge. Which ones will take the prize? I'll give you my 3 runner-up, and then I will proceed to declare my winner. Okay? So it won't be long. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm back, and we've got to declare who our 3 top candidates are from those 20 selected pens, and here they are. So my 3 candidates, or finalists, if you will, are 1, this Ranga Splendor Torpedo, this Easterbrook Oversize Esti, and this Leonardo Officina Italiana Furore Acquapetra. Those are my 3 finalists. And what I propose is that I give you a quick writing sample from all 3. So let's leave those. Actually, remove it completely, and I'll take my clipboard. By the way, this is a gorgeous clipboard from Galen Leather. Visit their website. They have some very nice products. A Turkish company, again, from Istanbul, and great service. They have all kinds of, very unique products, and I try to encourage them as much as I can. Very nice. So let's start with this Ranga. And let me just see if I could. Okay, we'll close it up a little bit here. So this is the Ranga Splendor Torpedo, and it's got a number 8 size, I should say, nib, titanium. It just flies. Butter smooth. Just great stuff. I really like this pen. One of my favorite pens. So there we go. That's the Ranga Splendor Torpedo. Next on my list is this Easterbrook. Let's see what this Easterbrook can do. This has got a stub nib. So this is the Easterbrook oversize ST, and it's amber version. It's got the it's got a Yo, but Easterbrook stamped, if you will. 1.1 stub. Excellent fine tuning. It's fine tuned. Writes very smooth. Gives me that line variation that I look for in all my stub pens. So that's the beautiful ST. Very nice. Again, look at how thick that resin is. I think it's probably the thickest resin that I've seen used in a resin pen. Very nice. Got some quality to it, and when you put it in your hands, there's some weight there. For a resin pen, it's got some girth. Very nice. And lastly, my recent purchase, which is my Leonardo Officina Italiana. So, Leonardo Officina Italiana. Furore Acqua Petra. It's got a rose gold steel 1.1 stub, and very nice. A little bit of feedback, but just enough to make it interesting. But otherwise, very smooth nib. So that's my Leonardo Officina. So out of the three, what's my favorite torpedo-shaped pen out of these three? Any guesses? Which one would you take? Would you take any one of the others that I've proposed? Do you have your own that you would propose? But which one would be your favorite? If you had these three to choose, which one would you choose? Well, I've chosen. And this Splendor takes it all. It's a torpedo, a huge torpedo. The price, quality, this is a $300 pen. Probably just as well the Easterbrook. This is a $150 pen. And I got to tell you, you add to it another $150 nib, and for the same price, you get size 8 Bach nib, titanium, with this gorgeous girthy pen. I don't know. To me, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. It's a go-to. It's always in my pen case. Constantly use it. Congratulations, Ranga. You've won the challenge. Stay tuned for my next episode where maybe other challenges will be announced. I got some ink challenges coming up too. So we'll take a look at that sometime soon. And I've got another monster of a pen from Ranga that is coming, and as soon as it comes, we'll do an unboxing and we'll present it to you. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Please subscribe. Enjoy the weather. It's springtime. If you play golf, enjoy your golf game, and see you all very soon. Thank you.